So how are you doing? I'm just doing a kind of a run through of technical stuff in advance of Friday's class. There's an awful lot to prepare. So let me see. So that's one screen. So that's good. So I have these are acrylics. They're the Golden Open Acrylics. Make acrylics more like oils. They don't really, but they're still pretty good. Yes. So this class is taking place next Friday. If you do want to join this class, that is my web page there. You can see there on the top right of those tabs, we have art classes, etc. So if you just hovered over that, you'll see the Zoom class. It's also there. You can see directly in front of you. Clicked on that image on the website, you'd be taken through to the booking page. So it's on my website, www.McSherryStudio.com. Okay, so let me see what else have I got going here. I've got that and the main working panel. Okay, so I'm just going to do a kind of a little painting of Rathmines there. It'll be very quick. I don't want to sort of spend too long on it because this is, after all, just a test. So I'm just going to mix up a dark there. Blue would be nice, wouldn't it? I hope I'm going to be very loose here. So what we've got, grey big general shape here, and then around here like that. Coming here, that's the library. Got a tree there. So I'm just doing this version of beloved Rathmines, the centre of the world. So like that, come down there like that, up there like that. Okay. There like that, just doing the big general shapes, and I'm going to put in some darks. Remember, this is Golden Open Acrylics, so let's see what happens for a bit of fun. Make a bit of a notan out of it. Oh, here, something I must do, I forgot, because this is a kind of a live setting, isn't it? So let me put in the docs. Let me have multiple outputs and visitors, control sources, scenes. How do I do the... Oh, I know. Bear with. Excuse me. Pop out chat. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so put that there, and then maybe I'll see if anyone takes the time to chat to me. Okay, all right. So there's not really a live, how would you call it, a still live thing. This is more of a record and see how this goes. Okay, so next thing, that goes out and that goes up. Rathmines there. What used to be a town hall, I believe. So we've got some shadow coming across the road here. I took this photograph the other night when the sun was blazing. It was a gorgeous evening, and I went out on my scooter and just did the rounds of the canal taking photographs. Okay. Now, okay, add some sky. Okay, let's put in an indication of how the sky goes. I painted Rathmines from more or less this position a couple of years ago, and I also used Golden Open Acrylics because, well, especially when you paint with them onto paper, they don't just come off everywhere. And I had a plastic bag and I was on my scooter. I didn't want to get paint on it, so that'd be a nice light there. Okay. And there are some light parts coming across the road. Then it goes kind of dark again. The value is kind of mid-toned there, really, isn't it? It goes dark now. That tree there. It's very, very dark. Doesn't make it even darker, really. So if there's anyone there, it would be good to chat with you. Dark. Dark there like that. Dark along here. Dark in there. There's a kind of a shape there. Not sure what that is, but the whole point of this is to be vague. Let me just grab this. Right. Yeah, there's a roofs there. Roofs there. Okay. There's a lot of red brick. A lot of red brick in Rathmines. Well, in Dublin, actually. So let's put some of that in. Going down to infinity there. Got a kind of lightish part there. Now, that shadowed area in front of us is kind of blue. It's cool, that road. Even in there. And there as the road disappears into the distance. Okay, let me put that. Okay, so there's a golden colour. Rathmines Library, which is a Carnegie library, no less. Good old Dale Carnegie. I hope you know I'm joking. There's now. Oops. Dark red here. That roof comes up higher. There's a bit of a chimney, dark for a chimney there. Comes down there like that. Then that looks like the roof of the swan there. Up there. Up there, and you can come across there. Darks across there. Dark there. Out there. Now there's that green, lovely green copper roof. Just like the church up the road, where I was reliably informed it was made at the roof of the church. What was the church? I can't remember the name of the church, but in St. Petersburg and the revolution, they ended up with a spare dome, and we bought it. It's a brilliant story. Go up there like that. It's kind of a lightish blue light here. There. That road gets very bright here. And that can come across here. Light grey, but grey all the same. I can go here like that. And along there. Many's the time I went into the Swan Centre there, across to the right, training with my friends. There. I'm going to lighten up that sky a bit. Might make a bit of it pink. That'll be nice. Because you can blend with this particular brand of acrylics, or type of acrylics. I can go down there too, and I can shape this a bit. Come down there. That's a bit better. And let's get a bit more blue. It's blue and white. In fact, I'm not using pure white here, this titanium buff. Stop you getting too light. And I can and here shape this clock tower. There. Sculpt that chimney there. go. Now, decrease the size of my brush and start putting in other building details. Now there's one I want to put in. Shape those a little bit. There. Now it gets very light and golden down here. The sun is shining on those buildings, directly on them. So let's make a few little golden bits coming down there. And now less bright, slightly grayer is this here. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, and then redder, darker is this part of the clock tower. Let's push that out. And go down there like that. And like that, all the way down. We got that. I'm going to move that. No, I won't move it over. But I will put in that bright green. It's a bright blue green. It's not the same as the roof of the the roof of the tower there. There. Okay. Let me go back onto the library side. There. A duller yellow, orangey colour. Okay, and then we've got some nice green vegetation going along here, down there, there, all the way up to there. Now some other lights. First of all, there's roofs. Actually, I'm going to push that up a bit. It's taller than that. There. And there. That can go up. Good. That means there's a dark running down there like that. And that runs down that side too. In the distance there. Put that in there. Now there's a few darks running there. Not sure what they are, but they are darks and they're there. Okay, and then dark across there. Now I've got we have a roof coming along here. Push that along there and come down to there. And that is very dark on the side. That's about as dark as you can get there. And then dark, little bits of dark along there. There, you come along. That's a curb, really, I suppose, isn't it? Now, I want to increase the heighten the values on the road coming along here. And the sun really is coming across the road there and hitting that side there. Then back into there, shape that shadow. There. And we've got that thing there. Oh yeah, I see that now. We've got the dome on top of the library. There you go. Then what's some other red thing there? I'm not sure what that is actually. Some other furniture here. Okay, now let's do some of this stuff along here. Lighter, warmer parts here. Now that does feel like oils when it goes in there, so I don't want to dismiss these things. They actually are very, very valuable addition to your list of tricks. Okay, some really brights down here. Trying to keep it loose and painterly. Let's put in some, oh, there's that. I can go across there. Waverley, how are you? Yes, I'm desperately trying to make it look like oil paints. I'm painting more like an oil painter with these than I do even when I'm painting with oils. So I'm using more paint so that it doesn't set as quickly. And yeah, I'm enjoying it actually, I have to say. Now, I know this was a sort of a very ad hoc, impromptu session, but it's really just to try and get everything ready for Friday, when I'm doing a live demo. I mean, it's called a class, but I mean, yeah, it'd be difficult for you to paint along, especially since I think I'm a very fast painter. You know, so I mean, if you're not fast, then you might sort of get frustrated. But if you join, the recording will be available to you for a week after anyway. So you can go back over it and take it slowly, I suppose. Yeah. Does that sound good to you? Like, I mean, I'm not expecting you to join the class or anything, Waverley, but as a proposition, I suppose, would that be valuable, do you think, in your opinion? Okay, so there we go. Fill that up. I'm not going to be too specific about it. That's dark there. And Waverley, oh, here we go. I am not using a retarder in this case, Waverley, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm using Golden Open Acrylics for this one, and you don't need to put in a retarder. Now, they do have a kind of a material which you can add to the paint if it starts to start drying out. But for most of the time, you wouldn't need to use it. I don't think I'm going to need it for this painting. Okay, that can come along there like that. But of course, you don't have to use open acrylics. You can use a retarder. I did use a retarder very recently. I bought the Winsor Newton one, and I found that it worked very well. I brought them to Nantes with me. I went a nice week. It was an artist retreat, really, but really it's just a friend of mine who's got a house there in Nantes, and I stayed there for just over a week, 10 days, whatever, and did a bit of painting there. But I brought the acrylics with me, and I brought the retarder because I wanted to see how it would work. And I thought it was good. So I think maybe, I mean, I'll never get sort of a sponsorship out of people like Open, I suppose, because I think that you could probably buy the retarder and work with normal acrylic paints, and that would be well, that would be cheaper, wouldn't it? I think Open are great paints, but they are pricey, and I don't want to invite people to be spending all their money. Come down there like that. So let me continue that golden lit bit going down here. Now, Waverley, I think you're in the UK, aren't you? Just sort of tell you, when I landed in Dublin first in 1988, you know, I didn't really know anywhere, but I actually landed about a mile from this place. This is where I kind of started out in Dublin, and I discovered quickly that it was the centre of my world. You know, there was if you needed anything, you could get it in this place, Rathmines. It's a nice little sort of it has its own village town feel to it, I suppose. I remember cycling down there from my house, like the clappers, one night, because I kind of got a toothache. And you know, you only ever get toothaches on Friday nights, don't you? You probably had the same thing. It's a bloody terrible thing, isn't it? None of the dentists are open. So, a bit of green there. Green there. Now let's see if I can go around those areas again. So some darks down there. Coming to that corner. Not sure what they are. There's people down there. Yeah, Rathmines is a very busy, bustling place. It kind of always was. Always loved it. Oh, there's a dark up there. You can show us. Oh no, it's not. No, I don't want to put it in if it's not there. Good. No, so I can sort of do some more of that sky. A light around there. Shape these bits a bit more. Come down. Shape that. Shape that there. And that needs to be brought down the perspective a little bit. There. Let's get some blue and white. Starting to run out of my titanium buff. Shape that little cupola thing there. There's the tree, the abstract shape of the tree. Yeah, it's still movable, the paint. Now I need to make a dark of that green. Put that there, that there, and it does go up high there like that. Oh yes, what I would like to do. So I'm just sort of adding it, building up like a mosaic. There. And there's a kind of a dark poking up here. I can go there like that. I need some sky on the left of that little tower thing. Nobody ever looks up there. I don't anyway. I'm a remarkably unobservant person. Okay, there's some darks across there. I'm not going to make too much of them. Kind of like a half-timbered house. Oh yes, I know where it is. It's there's an auctioneer's there, isn't there? Whites. There's some other stuff that's just really just of dark value. I'm not being super accurate here because I don't think it's necessary. It's a big optical illusion. So. Oh, here, yes, you've got another question. Would you say it's easier to paint over lower layers than oil without mixing, but still blend when you want to? Would you say it's easier to paint over lower layers than oil? Right, okay. I find oils really kind of easy to use. I just you paint into them really rather than painting over them. This is definitely, well, this is kind of painting into as well. So I don't find this particularly different at all in this case. I've probably lost the run of my thoughts and answered a different question, did I? You can use these very much like oils, and I don't think the difference isn't enough to, isn't enough to make it something completely different. The intention was for them to be like oils anyway. So, and I think from today's exercise that I think they work very well. I like them, but I also think that you could put retarder into regular acrylics. There. A few little blobs there. Ivor, how are you doing? Yes, I just did an impromptu one tonight. So let me see. There needs to be something there. Nobody really knows what that's going to be, so maybe there as well. Some little bits of stuff there. You can't really see details, especially not the reference I'm using. Let's add in a few vivids, like for example here, maybe there. They're not necessarily there, but they need to be there. Across there like that. So there's a light coming along, reasonable light there anyway, and then there's a light coming along here, which is probably a traffic line, isn't it, of some description. Same with that one. And now some white lines in the middle of the road. There's one going along there, like that. I mean, usually that place is full of traffic. I took that photograph quite late in the evening, so there. I've got a terrible habit of sucking my breath in through my teeth when I'm concentrating, and sometimes it comes out as a whistle. There. I think even a bit of green would be nice in the shade. Let me grab my titanium buff. Look, titanium buff. Yeah. Characters, shops. It always was the place to go shopping. I mean, when I first got here, it was what, flipping hell, it was 1988. And I've just got paint all over my hands. But I remember there used to be a restaurant down where Boots is now, in that building, called Wolfman Jack's. And I think a friend of mine, his design company, did all their artwork, you know, their design and everything. So we used to go and eat there for a special treat. Let's get a cool green. See, I just want to see what this does. Sort of, yeah, it's a ramen bar. Hasn't been there that long, has it? I think it opened last year. I'm not sure I'm liking that green. And let's see. Oh, that's better. It's darker. Yeah, I like that. So there's a bit of colour in that shadow. Even if the colour isn't actually, I can't see it. There, that can be. Let's grab some red, put some blue into it. Blue into it and a little bit of white, or titanium buff, I should say. So it's purpley. See what that does down there against the green. Yeah, prefer a bit more blue in it. And there, the paint is starting to pull a bit now. It's starting to pull on the brush. So it's not exactly like oils. Oils would be, unless it had liquid in it already, it wouldn't have started to sort of feel tacky by now. Especially not the amount that I'm putting in there. Could put in some details there to give the illusion of function. Now get some darks there and there. A few lights for more sort of illusory stuff going on there. There's a little bit there, and then bluish bits. Oh, that can be lighter. Give a bit of colour over that side there. tried to treat it as if I was there, you know. Let me grab some white. Bit of movement in the sky. Get rid of that there. I think I might just go back into that tree as well. Blue, green, and burnt sienna. I can sort of put him in. That needed to be darker there. Yeah, okay. I think I might extend that lit part over a little bit. Yeah, it's still feeling like oils at that point there. Probably because there's a lot of paint there. Now, some other kind of furniture. So let's grab something and put. It is an urban scene after all. Steady my hand, bring that down to there. Not going to make too much of these things, but that, in fact, you can't see it in this position, but I'm going to put it there anyway. There. And then maybe I'd like to bring one in to about there. And there are some other bits and pieces. I suppose there are. Something here. Not exactly sure what it is, but it seems to be there anyway. Mostly putting in just as little details that make the thing look more real. Okay, and then some just stuff to make the thing look more like a village. Now, I do want to put in that bit there. Just seems to be important. And some lights now. Like Chris Voss, the sci-fi artist, used to say, details give the illusion of function. Oh, Ivor. Slattery's a nice pub. Yeah. I painted Slattery's. I did. I painted Slattery's. I stood outside a couple of years ago of that pub for over 3 days, and I did a painting. And it worked too. It was a great experience. What I love most of all is the people coming out to me and talking to me. in those days I had a extremely heavy easel. My God, it was a monster carting that thing around. Yeah, and that thing has something there. There you go. That's it, I think. Shall I put in Mrs. McCluskey? There. That's the light shining off her nose. There we go. I think that can be a bit more golden there as well. Okay, so did they bring me out a pint? No, they did not bring me out a pint. Scabby buggers. I think it shortly after that it changed hands. I'm sure the new owners would have brought me out a pint, all right. Mind you, drinking and painting at the same time, and maybe some people can do it. It's just starting to get tacky now. I have to say, I'm quite impressed with that stuff. Might start using it more often. Now it's just as fruity as all acrylics. I always find acrylics kind of fruity somehow. I don't know what it is. Is it the wet to dry shift that the colour shift that they say? I'm not sure, but I mean that's my fault. I mean, if I don't want it to be fruity, I shouldn't paint it fruity, but that's the way it crumbles usually with me. Put that white, and there's just a tiny little dark. That's what I'm going to put in. Going down there. I'll just put in a little McS. Now there is something I can do. I should have done this. Yeah, they didn't even bring me out a pint of water. What was I going to do? I was going to. I've completely forgotten. Oh yes, hang on. I can do full reference, full canvas entire. There. Let me just move it up a little bit. You're not missing much there at the bottom there. Okay. Well, I'll take it off. There you go. There you go. That's it. All right. Here I am again. So that's it. That was a kind of a quick demonstration. Don't know whether that's any different. You can see quite a shine off it, can't you? I wonder, does the open acrylics kind of dry with a shine? Because you wouldn't really get that with usual acrylics. It would be much more matte than that. There. Let me see if we can go any closer. The texture on it. So guys, talk to me. Will that'll be going on sale? Of course it will, yeah.